Flam Sports. My name is Richard Harris. It's been a while since we've blogged. We've had a lot to think about. A lot of things have happened in the world of sports. And we hope that we spend this fall season talking about sports and enlightening you all on things to do with the world of sports. Hopefully I will be motivated to keep doing this every day, to put a smile on my face, and to share my love of sports with you. Tomorrow, the NFL starts its regular season. The Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos play in the first game of the regular season to try to get back to the big game that they met in last year. The Broncos won that game with defense and pass rush, ran the ball enough, kept themselves out of trouble. The Panthers played scared. They played timid. They weren't attacking. Cam Newton, some people thought, quit on the game when he didn't dive after that fumble. The bottom line is, it's a new year. It's a new beginning. So before we talk about tomorrow's game, let's preview the NFL season. Who's going to win the divisions? 8 divisions, 4 teams each. Let's get started. In the AFC West, the Broncos ran the West for the last couple of years. But this year there's going to be a changing of the guard because the Raiders are better. The Chiefs are poised to take over the top spot. And my man, Mr. Gordon on the Chargers, looks like he's ready to run the football. If the Chargers can get some running game with Phillip Rivers, who had his best statistical year of his career, this division could come down to the final 2 weeks of the season. But for me, the team that's going to win this division, I think it's going to be the Raiders. I think the Raiders are hungry. They have a go-to receiver, go-to running back, and a quarterback who they protect won't make the stupid mistakes that hurt young quarterbacks. He is the best young quarterback in this league. And his future upside, that's right, I said it. He's the best young quarterback in this league. Better than Jameis, better than Mariota. And he has an upside that's insane. He's got a coach that trusts him. He's got a defense that will keep him honest. He's got an offensive line that will protect him. And a running game that'll keep him off his back. I think the Raiders, although they'll get off to a tough start going to New Orleans, but they won't back down. They may not win the game, but they'll lose probably by a field goal or so. But I think the Raiders are going to be the team to beat in the AFC West. NFC West is all about Arizona. Arizona has one goal, and that's to get to the big game. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, then it's a bad season. And Carson Palmer will more than likely start to begin to retire. This team has great receivers. They throw the ball deep. They have a fun offense. If you ever played football, you would want to play for this team because the coach is the coolest coach in the league. He likes aggressive defense, and he likes aggressive offense. Obviously, they got issues because they don't block all the time well for him, as the NFC Championship game showed last year. And Carson was not sharp. But this is the toughest division in football. It's going to be interesting to see how they hold off Seattle, how they hold off the Rams, and the 49ers, with all the controversy surrounding them, will play better football than you think. Carlos Hyde is a good running back. I don't think the quarterback position will be solved in the first few weeks. I think Kaepernick will be back starting within the next 2 weeks. I think this team will be tougher out than people think. But obviously with Seattle and Arizona as your top 2 teams, and the Rams are up and coming, Case Keenum has shown that he's ready to be a starter. Todd Gurley is the best football player the Rams have had in a long time. Their defense is solid. They'll get after you. They'll smack you around. Quarterback position, obviously, is their future with Mr. Goff, the number 1 pick. But this team has a lot to look forward to. If they can just get Kenny Britt to play like he did when he was with Tennessee, look out. The AFC North. To me, this division was bamboozled with the injury to Teddy Bridgewater. Last year, the Packers did very well, even though Jordy Nelson missed the whole season. But this team, the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions lost Calvin Johnson to retirement. The Bears, Jake Cutler had his best offensive year in years, but unfortunately that coach is gone. This team in this division don't like each other, and they will compete hard against one another. But at the end of the day, it'll be too much Aaron Rodgers. Vikings will still be a factor. Some people think the Lions might still be a factor because now Matthew Stafford has to spread the ball around and show off that great arm he has. The Bears have Alshon Jeffries. Should not have let Matt Forte go, but they did. They're not going to be as good as they used to be. But it's all about Aaron Rodgers and the Pack. In fact, the Pack team beat possibly in the whole NFC. The AFC North, I think the second toughest division in football. Cleveland brings the division down a little bit. I think the Steelers, the Bengals, the Ravens. Obviously, we don't know what Ravens quarterback we're going to have in terms of Flacco. Flacco sometimes looks like he's the best player on the planet, and then he'll go 5 for 19 for 22 yards. So the bottom line is, they cut Justin Forsett and they bring him back, which to me is a mind game, which I don't understand. The receiving game, Steve Smith's back. They got players who can, contribute, but they're all getting a little bit old. But the Steelers are clearly the team to beat in this division. The Steelers are offensively ridiculous, and they can make up for the inefficiencies on their defense because obviously everybody knows that their secondary is not the same, and the pass rush has gotten a little long in the tooth too. So they're going to play a lot of games where they're going to have to score 28 to 35 points to win, which I think Roethlisberger is capable of doing. They get Le'Veon Bell in 3 weeks. But the Steelers are the team to beat. The Bengals, this is probably it for Marvin Lewis. They have to win a playoff game or he's going to get fired. Everyone has said that now for the last 5 years. But more than likely, all the playoff teams, in terms of the wild card and the division winners, are going to come out of this division, most people believe. The AFC South used to be my least favorite division, but I like Bortles. I like Osweiler. Andrew Luck's back. I like Marcus Mariota. In fact, I think the most improved team in football this year will be the Tennessee Titans. I'm mad that the Giants didn't draft Henry from the Alabama, the Heisman Trophy winner. He went to Tennessee. And to be paired up now with DeMarco Murray, who will teach him things. They are building a sick team down in Tennessee. And all Tennessee has to do is get that one stud receiver and look out. They got a good tight end. That Marcus obviously is going to improve more this year, but they're 1 year away. The Colts, defensively, not very good. Offensively, can score with anyone. But Andrew Luck is not the quarterback that we thought he would be, unless he's got a play-action pass element to his game. And if he can't play action pass you, he can't do nothing. So Frank Gore's got to have a big year for them. But Houston, in my opinion, is the best team in this division only because I like the running back, Miller. I like Hopkins. And, of course, I like the defense. The quarterback just has to remember not to screw it up. And if he can play not to screw it up, Houston will be fine. The NFC South? Wow. The NFC South is interesting because all four of the quarterbacks in this division got hardware. Jameis, Cam's an MVP, Breeze was an MVP, and Matt Ryan is no slouch. But Cam is the reigning MVP, and it's his division to lose. The Saints probably play better But defensively, they will continue to struggle because they just don't play defense on the road. Yes, the Panthers lost Mr. Norman, but some people think he was only good because of the system, not because he was that good a player. Tampa Bay is just up and coming. They got two big receivers, good running game, good tight end. They just got to get out of their own way. I saw Jameis play twice in the preseason. The first time I saw him, he was terrible. The second time I saw him, he was outstanding. He's got to keep growing and getting better and better. Nobody can figure out what's wrong with Atlanta. Atlanta has everything that you want on offense. They just can't cover nobody on defense, and they can't get pressure on the quarterback. And yes, you want to shoot out everybody, but can't do it every week. Although they play in a dome stadium, and a lot of the games in this division are in warm weather and dome stadiums, so maybe they could. But it's all about Carolina. Cam Newton, I think, might become a repeat MVP. And lastly, the East. To me, AFC East, I think the Jets will draw closer to the Patriots because of Brady's suspension. I think the Jets have what it takes to be a champion. Running game, they have a good receiver, good tight end, good defense. Fitzpatrick just has to play smarter in the fourth quarter, and the Jets can do damage. Miami, okay, good running back, good receiver in Landry, but the quarterback position, inconsistent at times. He's got to fix his game. If he can fix his game, look out. Buffalo, too. Buffalo's got a running game, got a receiver, got a quarterback, good defense front seven. Just the weather might be an issue for them up there because the quarterback is probably not used to playing in that kind of cold. He just lacks experience. But I think the Bills are a day away. A year away. The Patriots, obviously, are the Patriots. Everybody healthy, they're unbeatable. Simple. So, I think the Patriots win the division. I think the Jets will challenge for a wild card. Who knows? They may actually get it. NFC East, my favorite division, of course, because of my Giants. I think this is the Giants' year, where Eli will be looking over his shoulder. He's had his two best offensive years recently, but the team hasn't had no success. So the team needs to regress a little bit in terms of going back to what makes them winners, which is running the football. And they have no good running backs, although I like the rookies they drafted. See what happens. Cowboys start out with Romo hurt. Not fun for anyone. The Redskins were good last year. Love the tight end. Love the weapons. Defense, And the Eagles are going to start a rookie to start the season to basically not screw up a good defense they have. They will turn you over, but they may not score enough points. So I'm taking the G-Men. My playoff 8, basically the Giants, Packers, Cardinals, and Carolina. And in the AFC, Patriots, Steelers, Texans, and the Raiders. Super Bowl prediction, I'm going G-Men versus the Steelers. And I think the Steelers will win the Super Bowl championship. And you've been educated. Bye-bye.